running with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. Who you with, Kirk? I'm M. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome to Speak on it. Welcome to Speak on it. I'm in. Welcome to Speak on it. Welcome to Speak on it. I'm in. Welcome to Speak on it. Welcome to Speak on it. I'm in. Welcome to Speak. Welcome to Speak. I'm in. 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 I'm in. Who you with, Kirk, dog? Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, dog. I'm in. Who you with, Kirk, dog? Hopefully y'all had a weekend and everybody has been safe. I know I had a wonderful weekend this weekend. It was cool outside. Wasn't that bad. I don't know. My microphone wait until I get on the air to start messing up. But hopefully y'all had a great weekend. Happy Sunday to everyone. Want to welcome everyone on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, Twitter. D Live is in the house, and also Anchor.fm. You can also follow us on Anchor.fm on all streaming platforms, and also for private shows, special shows that we do. Other than this show, you have to subscribe. Thursday night, Miss Risky and I, we did a show after we got off Thursday night, since we brought up the red light district over in Europe. So we decided to do a little show on that too. And so hopefully y'all subscribe to the channel. It's just a low fee of $2.99 a month. You can't even get a Happy Meal for $2.99 no more. So definitely support the show like that. And I really look forward to some things that we have coming forward for the future, and some things that we are working on behind the scene. Tonight, we're going to talk about a couple of things. Principal James Whitfield, out of Grapevine, Collegefield ISD. We're going to hit on that tonight because he could possibly lose his job for critical race theory allegedly being taught at his school. Now, my thing is, people complain about they don't want the history of America to be taught, the real history of America, dealing with critical race theories. But when we have stuff that happened down at the border last week, and how they rushed to clear out Del Rio because they knew it was a protest plan for Saturday, and they made sure it was cleared out by Friday. So we're going to hit on that a little bit. And then also we're going to talk about Jacob Brown. We've talked about this on the show last year. That's the Louisiana State Trooper that pulled over a black man. Well, he got indicted for beating him 18 times with a flashlight. So we're going to hit on that a little bit also. So hopefully you have your drinks and your popcorn, and let's get this show started. Man, this had really been a great weekend. Felt good outside. I know a lot of people is in town for Grammarly Preview game. I believe Preview won, if I'm not mistaken. So shout out to them. I don't know who won the Battle of the Band, but it's all good. Um, so hopefully y'all had a great time and was safe out there. Um, and so this came out today. Texas School Board. Let me make sure that's not an old one. Yeah, Texas School Board moves forward with process to fire Black principal accused of teaching critical race theory. Critical race theory in a time that we have immigrants down in Del Rio, or had immigrants down in Del Rio, that was being attacked by Border Patrol, and that was using whip-like items to round them up on horseback. But they say he could possibly lose his job for teaching critical race theory. Now, when you see this all over the news and people talking about it, how can you not talk about what happened in Del Rio last week? And then for the younger folks, I can just imagine the questions that came along. Well, this never happened before in America. No, this have happened. They trying to repeat history. That's why it's so important to really pay attention to our history, because they trying to repeat it. If we don't educate our kids about the true history of America, they would think it's something new. But these action last week is nothing new. Look at the old movies. Look at the old pictures that were shown when the Klansmen came in on horseback, had the whips out and attacking Black folks. So this brother should not lose his job. What he's supposed to do? I don't know what the situation was, but at the same time, I could just imagine if someone asked him about what's going on in Del Rio and they want to know more information, you just can't overlook that. You need to be able to have a dialogue with a kid and explain it to him, because we can't guarantee that all the parents is gonna actually talk about it. They made it seem like this the first time anything like this happened in America. No. In that piece of an interview that Greg Abbott gave this morning, he avoided a lot of the questions, because the thing is, they blaming Biden for everything. But how many years had a Republican ran Texas and they did nothing? I believe the last Democrat that ran Texas was Ann Richardson. That been a long time. We done had Slick Rick, Greg Abbott. I want to say even George Bush was in there. So that's a long time. And they trying to blame Biden for this. But with all of y'all that been leading Texas, now the border is a problem. Now, don't get me wrong. No one should come here illegal. You should follow the proper calls to come here. Yes, you should. But don't put what happening today all on Biden. Yes, it's Biden watch, but you need to blame everybody that came before Biden, or the leaders of Texas are the ones you need to blame, because they only talk about the border when it comes down to election time. That's when they want to talk about protecting our borders. Greg Abbott is in a race for his life right now. Some of you may not think it, but he's in a race for his life. For this, and what I mean about that, he want to stay in office, but he pissed off enough folks in Texas where we're gonna vote him out. We tired of this race. They talking about critical race theory. No, that's a race theory. How y'all did the Haitians last week? Because the thing is, all these folks that been over here, nobody been deported. No one been reported that quick. Um, like we having issues. I just got a message saying that having problem with the stream, so I don't know if we're still live or not. I'm trying to see. Um, if someone is listening, let me know if we're still live, because I just got a message saying that um, having connection issues. So um, let me see real quick. Trying to see if I see it on. Yeah, look like we're still live. Look like it was a flight delay in it, but we are still live. So um, so they try to make it seem like that incident that happened last week was just a one-time thing. No, it's not. That's why we need to teach the history of America in all school across this world, or at least across this nation, because what we seen was really crazy. And then Greg Abbott this morning on that interview with Chris Wallace, the only thing he want to talk about, how many people have came over since Biden been in office, talking about this more than um, more people than any other president. But at the same time, um, when they did come over in the past, y'all request for people to take them into your home. You offer to pay people to take the kids in, or you try to find family members to take the kids in. And they say at least 1,000 people was allowed to stay here. Allows 1,000 compared to 15,000. That's a huge difference. But at the same time, um, they were so quick to deport all the rest of them. It was like, really? So you want to, soon as the Haitians come, you want to get them out of the country immediately. I haven't seen them deport that many people that quick, and never seen it happen. So once again, that's the difference between black folks and white folks. So, but as for this brother, James Whitfield, a Texas school board, has voted to move forward with a process that could end with the firing of James Whitfield, a black principal that became embroiled in controversy over race theory allegedly being taught at his school. NBC DFW reported that on Monday, the Grapevine Colleyville ISD School District Board of Trustees unanimously agreed to approve a proposed recommendation by the district superintendent to not renew Whitfield contract. According to the district, this vote was a procedure step to allow an opportunity for Whitfield, the black principal in the history of Colleyville Heritage High School, to defend itself. The district publicly revealed for the first time its reason for the recommendation of non-renewal. The allegation include deleting email as a public record, insubordination, failing to cooperate with the internal investigation, and being dishonest with the media. The district cited multiple meetings with Whitfield bosses to address the subject. Whitfield was not fired Monday, but the process is moving forward for that to happen, or at least for him to get a hearing on the allegation against him. He was placed on administrative leave late last month. 35 parents, student, and community addressed the school board Monday night, all of them in support of Whitfield. The decision is yours. Make it right. One in the one that history can look back on proudly. Resident David Benedito said during a public comment. Whitfield had his own opportunity to speak to trustees. I stand before you today no different than I was when I came in the school year 2018-19. I'm an advocate for all kids. He said, I believe every student, regardless of race, religion, sexuality, whatever bucket you want to put them in, I believe they should have access to excel education. Yes, I said those words. Whitfield conflict with the school board made national headlines in July after a man publicly accused him of teaching critical race theory during a board meeting, which of course is a problem in Texas since legislation have done everything they can to prevent educators from talking about racism in school. Um, yeah, this is it's crazy that it coming down to this. Here it is, brother went to school to become an educator and now can possibly lose his job. And we don't know. Welcome to the show, T Cal. Thank you for always tuning in. Hopefully, you had a great day, a great weekend. Hopefully, you had a great weekend. I'm y'all may be thinking my eyes is closed, but um, I decided to cook again today. Normally Sundays I try to cook, but uh, that itis kind of kicking in. That's why I was 5 minutes late getting on the show because I was looked up. I'm like, oh Lord, it's almost 8 o'clock. I need to get on the show. Um, but I cook and it was pretty damn good. So and shout out to the ones that have text or call and talking about, hey, can I come get my plate? So um, you know exactly who you are. I'm not gonna call no names, but know that you always are welcome. And so hopefully we'll be able to get back to doing that soon. But yeah, so hopefully this brother don't lose his job. And um, I don't know how we cannot talk about race in school when it's history. Uh, um, because the thing is, it's history. History is constantly being made on a daily basis. It was hard to turn on the TV without knowing what was going on down in Del Rio last week. Yeah, excuse me. So yeah, I stand behind um the principal James Whitfield and everyone else should too. Yeah, those are itis eyes. Yeah, it. I'm struggling because the food was great. Should have tried to have it ready at 5 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock. So, but it was great. Um, then also we're gonna hit on. Oh shoot! I just closed the wrong story. Um, I know I was gonna do that. Let me pull this story back up. But the former U.S. Um, Louisiana State Trooper um, Jacob Brown have been indicted. He was the former Louisiana State Trooper charged with civil rights violation um, for beating a man with a flashlight 18 times last year. Former Louisiana State Police Trooper has been charged with a civil rights violation for plummeting a black motorist 18 times with a flashlight, the first criminal case to emerge from federal investigation into trooper beating of at least three black men. A grand jury on Thursday indicted Jacob Brown for the 2019 beating following a traffic stop that left Aaron Larry Bowman with a broken jaw, broken rib, and a gash to his head. Brown was charged with one count of dispersion of rights under color of law. Federal prosecutor said Brown indictment comes as the federal prosecutor on the case scrutinizing other troopers who punched, stunned, and dragged another black motorist, Ronald Green, before he died in their custody on a rural roadside. The probe of Green's 2019 death has grown to examine whether police brass obstruction justice to protect the trooper who beat the black motorist after a high-speed chase. Um, Body camera video of both beating, which took place less than 3 weeks and 20 miles apart, remained under wrap before the AP obtained and published them this year. They are among a dozen cases over the past decade in which an AP investigation found trooper or their bosses ignoring or conceal evidence of beating, deflecting blame, and impeded effort to root out misconduct. The department had previous acknowledged that it has opened an ongoing criminal investigation into the incident involved the Louisiana State Police that resulted in death or bodily injury to arrestees. The U.S. Department of Justice said in a statement those investigations remain ongoing. Brown attorney Scott Wilson declined to comment. Captain Mick Manley, a state police spokesman, said Brown engaged in excessive and unjustifiable action and failed to report the use of force to his supervisor. Um, Any instance of unjustifiable use of force jeopardizes public safety and is a danger to our community. Manel said in an email, these actions are inexcusable and have no place in professional public safety service. Bowman attorney, the Nika Banks Molly called the indictment a shot of relief. We're just trying to remain hopeful and trust the process of justice, she told the Associated Press. Aaron is extremely happy and he just wants full justice. On the May 9th, Bowman was pulled over for a traffic violation. Brown came up on the scene after deputy had forcibly removed Brown from his vehicle and taken into custody. The trooper later told investigator he was in the area and was trying to get involved. Video and police records show he beat Bowman 18 times with a flashlight in 24 seconds. After deputy pulled them over for a traffic violation near his Monroe home, Brown later said Bowman had struck a deputy and the blows were pain compliance and intended to get Bowman into handcuffs. Bowman 46 denied hitting anyone and is not seen on the video being violent with officer. He still faced a list of charges, including battery of a police officer, resisting an officer, and a traffic violation for which he was initially stopped, improper lane usage. Brown 31 failed to report his use of force and mislabeled his body cam footage and what investigators described an internal record as an intentional attempt to hide the video. State police didn't investigate the attack until 536 days later. And now, it only did so after a lawsuit from Bowman. Yeah. That's why I say hit him in the pocket. Once you hit him in the pocket, they have to try to cover up the tracks. But this guy, he don't need to be a police officer. Never should have been one, and it never should have taken that long. I think any incident, they I think every police department should have someone. When someone goes into custody, they should at least look at the footage and determine if those crimes are accurate, what the policemen have reported, and also make sure the police actually did what they're supposed to do. It shouldn't take over 500 days to do this. That's a long time. And here it is, it's 2 years later, and they just now realizing he lied about it. Yeah, he should go to jail. Um, just like anyone else should for those. Uh, T. Cal said, always help when you hit them in the pocket. If you hit them good enough, it'll make them right. They'll stop it. But see, now in in some cases, I'm not gonna say all, but I've been from looking at some things when they do the police budget, they put a they put to the side a certain amount of money that they're gonna pay out for lawsuits. And I could just imagine what Mr. Bowman going through for the simple fact you done got hit 18 times with a flashlight in 24 seconds. 24 seconds, 18 times. How how is that even possible? Well, I guess it is possible. It happened, but 24 times in 18 seconds? That dude was pissed off. And he wasn't even on the call. 24 times in 18 seconds. But people don't think nothing wrong with that picture. They don't think it is. They need to check his background. See how many other victims did he have? Because I'm sure it's probably someone else he done the same thing or similar to it. In Louisiana, y'all wrong for covering this up. Y'all are wrong. Do it right. Get some officers that's gonna do their job properly and do what you have to do. If they in there messing up, costing your citizen money, because they the ones having to pay these bills, the lawsuits, 24 times in 18 seconds. That don't even make sense. Um, yeah, so hopefully they find him guilty. We know Louisiana got some tricky laws. Um, so hopefully they find him guilty. It's one thing to be indicted, but that's just the beginning of it. They need to go ahead and find him guilty. Uh, Once again, welcome everyone to the show again. You are listening to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I mean, Who You With Kurt Dog. If you are listening on my personal page, please go over to the podcast page, Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog, and I can see your chat as they come in. And also Anchor.fm. Definitely take the time out and subscribe to that. $2.99 a month. That's real low. $2.99 a month, and you can get some other shows that we don't do on this platform, but you can get them on Anchor, and you never know what we may talk about. And kind of like Thursday night, we talked about the red light district, and it was a good show. Miss Risky and myself, and it was interesting. Some of those findings that we pulled up on it. So you'll have to subscribe in order to know what all we talked about. But definitely check it out. Also, once again, you are listening to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I am Who You With Kurt Dog. Now, this next story, I was debating if I was going to talk about it or not. But apparently, Michael Jordan's son was arrested the other day. And no, today. I guess it happened yesterday, Friday or yesterday or something. Jeffrey arrested for aggravated assault in Arizona. Um, Not sure what's going on with him, but the story goes as, according to report, Michael Jordan's son, Jeffrey Jordan, was accused of assaulting hospital staff while in uh, Arizona this past Friday night. The incident allegedly occurred while Jordan was being treated for an injury he suffered while at a bar. Jordan was reportedly at the Casa Amigo bar in Scottsdale, Arizona, when he fell and hit his head. Police say Jeffrey Jordan became combative with security, who was trying to help him out of the bar to get medical attention. The police were in the area for another unrelated call. When asked to assist with the situation, the incident was noted to be a medical one, not a criminal one, which led to an ambulance being called for Jordan. Things allegedly got bad once Jordan got to the local hospital. Police noted a report was filed for felony aggressive assault. Sources stated that Jordan was confused and disorganized after the fall. As a result of the incident, Jordan was arrested and booked for one count of aggravated assault of, of a healthcare professional. He has been released since then, and stay tuned for more. That came from TMZ. So, um, yeah, when I read that, I'm like, okay, it could be several things that happen. Um, um, because he was at a bar, could have had some type of medical condition, or hell, he could have stood up in his legs, been sitting there for a while watching the game or whatever, and sometimes your legs go to sleep, hit his head, and kind of made him dizzy a little bit. But um, I personally don't think that story is going to go too far, um, because he wasn't in his right mind after he fell. That's my personal opinion about it. I don't think it's going to go too far, but then again, you never know. Um, Someone may decide, hey, oh, that's Michael Jordan's son. Do we have money like his daddy? And if so, I need to get paid. So that's about the only reason it will go any further if a personal lawsuit is filed. And I don't see it happening. Uh, then also, um, I know we've been talking about R. Kelly, but the defense have rested, and the jury is where is it? The jury is actually I want to say they already have the case, or should be getting the case probably tomorrow sometime if they don't already have it, and he's facing up to 20 years in jail. So I don't know how this is gonna play out. No, the jury already have the case. Um, the jury already have the case, so they are deliberating, and now they just waiting for their decision. So um, I think it's gonna be interesting. T. Cal said people can be dirty, so you never know. Yeah, you never know about the case with um, um, I forgot his name already. Michael Jordan's son. You never know what might happen. Hopefully, they realize, hey, he fell, hit his head, probably have a concussion, wasn't in his right mind. How do you think it's going to go? The R. Kelly trial? I don't know. It depends on who's on that jury. That's what it's going to depend on. We did a research. Well, we didn't do a research, but we talked about it a while back, and it was by the makeup of the jury, he's probably going to jail. But it's a lot of questioning that comes out of it for the simple fact. The one guy said the only reason why he have charges to himself for trying to bribe or trying to get people not to participate in this trial to testify against R. Kelly. So they worked out a deal with him that if you testify, it's a good chance we can drop your charges or reduce your charges. So with that type of stuff going on in the case, it's really hard to say. And I think it was one police officer said he never seen him with an underage person. Um, but I will say, if R. Kelly do get off, you need to go sit his ass down somewhere. Go sit down. Matter of fact, you don't have nobody. You should not be alone with nobody. Which, in return, if he do get off, he's probably going to start booking tours because from what people are saying, he's broke, paying all these attorney fees. A couple of months ago, he was trying to sell his catalog, but nobody was interested in him. Now I give you 20 on it. May not be worth much now, but I can tell in the future it'll be good once all this blow over again. But if he get off, he need to go sit down somewhere. Go sit down. Shoot, wear a body cam. Don't ever take it off. Wear a body cam and stay away from kids. Stay away from kids and need to protect yourself at all times because I personally, that's a lot of people that came forward. But then again, you don't know what everybody's mindset is. R. Kelly, did he do it? I don't know. I wasn't there. Do I think he did it? Yeah, I think he probably did some of that mess. Yeah, I think he did some of it. What part he did, I don't know. I don't know. But hey, that's R. Kelly. You got to separate the two. You got to separate from R. Kelly, the man. Oh, let me rephrase that. Robert Kelly, the man, and R. Kelly, the artist. Same person, two different people. Because, hey, I love him as an artist. He's a genius, but they don't give him no rights to abuse anybody, especially not kids. So that's all I'm saying. It's just one of those things that, hey, R. Kelly need to go. If he beat this case, he need to sit down and be like, look, I'm not going to be around nobody. But then again, if he beat this case, this probably going to make him worse. From him saying the comment, allegedly saying the comment that he's a genius, he should be able to get whatever he wants. But that should not, and do not include kids or abusing anyone. So definitely, I guess we'll know once it comes out. We will report on it. Whatever the jury decide, it's in their hands, and it's nothing. It's up to them. It's really up to them what happened. So I don't know if it's true or not, but Uh, it's crazy. TCal said if he beat the case, it would be shameful. Yeah, a lot of evidence came out, and Miss Risky was telling me this before. She was like, "What at the beginning of the trial, only thing they focused on was Aaliyah, Aaliyah," and I'm like, "That's what they trying to uh, get his character." For the jury can just continue to think about he married a 14-year-old girl, 15, however old she was underage. He married the young girl, but hell, what about these other stars that married the young kids? That's wrong. And if he beat this case, he need to go sit down somewhere. Don't write no book talking about if I did it. OJ, I'm just saying. Don't write a book talking about if I done these things or whatever. If he beat it, count your blessing, keep on moving. But stay away from the kids. Wear a body cam 24/7. Don't ever take it off. Because if he beat it, it's gonna come up again. Somebody else gonna say something else. So, but you have been listening to Speak on It with Who You With Kirk, dog. Oh, excuse me. I told you, I eat good today. If you want to see what I ate, um, follow me on TikTok. I've been doing a lot of stuff on TikTok. TikTok. Um, Who You With Kirk, dog, on TikTok, and go on there and you'll see what all I cook and some of the process. I'm still trying to learn TikTok because um I don't know how to do all that editing and how folks be doing all the videos looking professional. I'm learning, so go on there and check it out, and let me know what you think. And but we're also going to be doing some other stuff on TikTok too. But right now, that's the only thing I've really been doing. Whenever I posted something about cooking, but I want to learn some more stuff. I'm gonna do some things tomorrow because I try to do a couple of more things tomorrow. But I think I'm gonna do a cooking video tomorrow too. That'll be pretty interesting on that one. So, but you have been listening to Speak on It with Who You With Kurt, though. Um, we're here Sunday through Thursday, 8 to oh, uh, 8 p.m. Central Time. I'm thinking of a work schedule. 8 p.m. Central Time. You can always follow us on social media. Um, if it's something you want us to speak on, you can always send us an email at whoyouwithkurtdog@mail.com. Whoyouwithkurtdog@mail.com. And also um, you can send me a message on social media. I will respond back as long as there's no foolishness. Um, Matter of fact, we had someone that sent me a message. I think it was yesterday morning, talking about the show from Wednesday, um, about black missing people. So, and that was a very good conversation. Um, she brought up some concerns, and we had an open dialogue. So, and I understand where she coming from. She understand where I'm coming from, and I don't mind uh, responding to comments like that. But we do get some weird stuff, and I just let it go with the flow. I will respond, um, but it's always good to have open dialogue. And if you have open dialogue with people, um, that's how the show should go. But then we know we have trolls too. But kind of like the guy last week when we did the show. He came on and want to say other things, and I'm like, look, that's your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion, but we're gonna respect everything on the show. So definitely, if it's something, a concern, changes that you feel we should make with the show, just email me and at who you with kurtdog at mail.com, who you with kurtdog at mail.com. And also don't forget, you can also send us a uh, email um by some other concerns, because we had someone to email us and ask us about different things, and I responded back on live on the show, and I want to say the person was okay with it because I never heard anything else from them. But I'm trying to see if I could pull up the message that the young lady sent the other day. um she actually said uh da, 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 da. Okay. She from Beverly Nelson said, "I'm sorry, but enough is enough. Can we look at these young men and women as human beings, no matter what color they are? For God's sake, they are all God's children given to us as a beautiful, remarkable gift from God. So can we all look at them as missing people? There's no one more special than the next person, than the next. Besides, they're all special. We need more posters out there everywhere. In travel sites like stores, gas stations, truck stops, cards with pictures, DNT. Matter who's missing, put it out there everywhere. People pay attention. Maybe not. Do many people do many people will end up missing? Besides, they they are human trafficking everywhere, not to mention people buying human organs out there. The younger people are for real. I believe being kidnapped and human traffic is why I believe so many people coming up missing, and they don't care what you look like or what color people are. We got to find these people, no matter who it is missing. God bless these young men and all the people missing. And I actually responded, tell her thank you so much for watching the show, Miss Beverly Nelson. Please take the time to subscribe, like, share, click the notification for when we are live. You can join us. I agree with you, but unfortunately, when it comes to people of color, we don't get the news coverage like other people. That's the reason why we should talk about missing people of color. If we don't talk about it, they would just be another missing person that the world don't know anything about. The heartbreak that these families have to go through, not knowing where their child, mother, father, etc., is located, is terrible. Then to add insult on top of it, the ones that we pay our tax dollars to act like it's not important to them. Just like Mr. Day family, the police found the body months ago and never identified the person, saying they didn't have the chemical to do a DNA test to identify the person. But after we, as the people, started to bring a spotlight on his case, they identified the person they found as Mr. Day. Now the family can start the healing process. They may never know what happened to Mr. Day because the police say may say it was a suicide, just like they said in Lisa Johnson case. It's so easy for them to rule a case as a suicide, to close the case and keep from investigating the case. The only thing we're asking for is to treat all the cases the same and give it the same news coverage. Like someone said on the show, missing people of color is not news. Like you said, we're all a child of God. and should be treated equal. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't see people of color equal. That's why we had slavery for over 400 years. That's another subject. I personally want to thank you again for watching the show, and please continue to watch. Peace, Kurt Dog. Um, and she did respond back and said some other things. Said, I have a younger sister who was murdered, and I've lost 8 female friends and 12 mate friends, black and white, that was murdered. Still haven't found anyone that killed none of them. So I know how the crazy system works. Slow as hell. So that's those are the conversations some people may send in. I get a lot of crazy stuff, but this was pretty good, and I did respond back. I'm so sorry for your loss. If if we're all colorblind, this world would be so much better. So um, so that's actually a pretty good um, feedback about the show we did on last Wednesday. But unfortunately, in this world, most people judge a person strictly by the color of their skin, and it's wrong to do that because you're not giving a person the opportunity to really know what's going on. A lot of time, these interaction with policemen, because the way they've been raised and taught about how black folks are, it's not always the case. Now, I seen this video last week where this black man was on a picture in a video with a Klansman that was in full uniform, and this guy said he spent years getting to know them because he wanted to know what how they think, and he became friends with them, go to the meetings and all of this, and it came down to where um, some of the people, once they got to know him, they actually left the clans because they like this is. I was taught different that black folks was like this, so they actually left. Um, I personally, I can make friends with anybody, but um, with an organization like that, I can talk with anybody. It take a lot to go and go to these meetings knowing how they talk, how they treat your race, and all of that. But this brother, he took a stand and he said a lot of people gonna think he's crazy for what he doing. But sometimes you gotta get down and dirty with the enemy and change your mind though, just to know where they coming from. So with that being said, um, I don't think I'm at a position where I can do it right now. But if I know a lot of people, I meet a lot of people, and who to say some of them not don't feel the same way, but because the way they know me, they may say, "Hey, Kurt Dog, a pretty cool cat," and they may not look at me as they may look at other people of color. So, um, so it's kind of hard to say, but this brother did take the step to see what their mind thought is, what they think, how they talk, how they act, and got to know them personally 101, which is not a bad thing. Um, um, and I think if a lot of us took the opportunity and stop judging people by the color of their skin or even by the way that they look, just how they dress, whatever it may be, we can make a difference in this world. Stop separating political views because we're all not going to agree on everything. Some people not going to agree that it's time for Greg Abbott to go. Some people not going to agree on that. Some people not going to agree that I feel Biden won't be reelected, even though I voted for him this time. But I'm not pleased with the way he been doing things from the time of Rustin signed the Asian hate bill, but we can't get a black hate bill signed. Uh, Rustin deported the Haitians, but we can't get protection as black folks. You rushing and help everybody else out, but you're not looking at black folks. And that's a problem for me. So, President Biden, I said it at the beginning, I'm voting for you, but if you don't do what you should do and be equal with everybody, I will not support you next time. And the only way I support him is between him and Trump. And I don't think that's going to happen on neither one of them. So, uh, but you have been listening to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. During this time, it's a lot of things going on. And I just found out yesterday a good friend of mine who I've been knowing since 98 passed away a couple of weeks. Well, at the end of last month, he texted me after I got off the show and told me some things and caught me by surprise. But his wife texted me yesterday and told me that he passed away yesterday. Not going to say their name, but please keep them, my friend, lifted up in your prayers, and his wife and his kids and grandkids. Been knowing him since 98. We didn't talk all the time, but whenever we did talk, it was like we never stopped talking. He would come listen to the show, and he would send me comments. He'd be like, man, that was a good show. So please love your loved ones during this time. Love your loved ones. Matter of fact, this friend even reached out to me when my mom passed. So, and he called me, said, if you need anything, I'm here for you. So, so definitely keep his family lifted up. And until tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Time, we will be back and we'll have some all new stuff tomorrow. So, um, so 8 p.m. tomorrow night, come join us, live chat with us. I know wait a minute. We may not come on tomorrow night because I know Cowboys play tomorrow night. That'd be too much of a competition. So I don't know. I see how it goes, but I don't support them. My opinion, I don't support the Cowboys. Grew up a Cowboy fan, but I just don't watch them now. Yeah. So so we may or may not come on tomorrow. Depends on what's going on. So until then, I love each and every one of you until 8 p.m. Central Time tomorrow, maybe. If the good Lord say so. Until then, peace.